Hi, before joining LeanFastRx, a couple of things that I really struggled with was increased inflammation. I was in pain a lot. I couldn't lose the 20 pounds that I had gained. I'm really short, I'm 5'1", and I had gotten up to 131 pounds, and I exercised, and my background is exercise physiology, so I knew exactly what to do. But I'm going to be 53, and it has been a really struggling journey for me because I also had increased sugar cravings. So I had a friend that was doing the program and said, "Hey, Christina, you might want to try this." And I was really skeptical, but those are the biggest things I struggled with: was losing the weight and still eating good and exercising, increased pain and inflammation in my body from premenopausal. The sugar cravings were just totally out of this world, and the food noise was like all the time thinking about eating cookies. That's all I wanted was cookies. So that was my biggest struggle before trying the program. The biggest doubt for me that I had going into the program was the side effects of the medication. I have done some research. I'm a researcher myself, and I know that people have had side effects. But for microdosing, if you dose in the smallest increments, and this program allowed you to do that 3 days a week versus taking one shot, which overpowers your body, right? It just allowed my body to get used to it. I personally had zero side effects, none, zero. And then I got up to the units where I needed to be, where I felt comfortable, and I had lost the weight. But I didn't have any side effects. And what was so good is they answered all my questions and then made me feel comfortable. But in addition to that, I also had a friend that had done it before, and she had lost a significant amount of weight. So to me, I was able to be in control of those units a little bit, which I control freak anyway. I just like to control my own dosing. And they would say, "Hey, Christina, you need this many units 3 times a week." And I started a little bit lower than that because I was still skeptical, but it worked for me. My body adjusted appropriately. And as each week went on, it worked, and I'm 24 pounds down. I think the initial attraction to this is because my friend had done it before, and she felt very confident, and I trusted her. And it's hard for me to trust people. So because she was seeing results, and a lot of the other programs that were out there was only 1 shot a week. And I just didn't like the philosophy of that. What I love so much about this program is you can start on the lowest dose, and you can tell them that. And 3 times a week, so you're just giving your body just a little bit so that it can get used to it. And if you want to research yourself, you can. But I really like their concept of 3 times a week versus the 1 shot. So I was very attracted by the concept of how they implement this for your body, as well as the quality of the product, of the medicine, of the compound is phenomenal. So it worked for me. I think there's a couple things that motivated me to join the program. One, seeing the results of my friend. She had significant results. And then all the research that I had done on microdosing also influenced my decision to try it. And I loved also the concept of 3 times a week. I was really fascinated by that because I don't think you find that a lot with other programs. Most of the time it's 1 time a week. And I was in so much pain. I was having severe sugar cravings. I couldn't lose the weight. I had brain fog, all of that. And so I was like, she can do it, and she trusts the program, and her and I are very close. I was like, I'm going to try it. The changes that occurred as I was microdosing with this program were significant. At first, the first things that I noticed was the weight loss. However, I do encourage, number one, to get enough protein during the week. And yes, you need to weight train and do some type of exercise. That is definite because you will lose muscle mass if you don't. So originally I started seeing the weight come off. Within probably the first 7 to 10 days, I had lost a significant amount of weight. In addition to that, though, this is something that's really powerful for me with the compound and the medication that they use is also, I don't have inflammation in my body. My doctor originally gave me some strong medication because I had so much inflammation and pain in my body due to premenopausal symptoms that I saw that cleared up almost like within 2 weeks too as well. In addition to that, I didn't have sugar cravings anymore. I wasn't thinking about eating cookies. I was like, cookie, cookie, cookie. Huh? I could have been the cookie monster. But anyway, I had severe sugar cravings. Those things went away. I actually started to sleep. Before I was not sleeping at all, and now I rest very deep. I have a very deep rest. So there was so many, not just visible changes, but things within me that I started to see. I started to feel good about myself and had confidence too as well. My transformation by microdosing with LeanFast has actually helped my mental health. It's made me more confident. I am really small, like I've shared before, 5'1". I was at 131 pounds. I wasn't obese, but I couldn't get to any of my clothes. And now I have this confidence. I can get into all my clothes that I have. I mean, I got 2 closets full of clothes, and now I can get into all of them. And when I go to work and I feel good about myself, I am getting compliments. And it's like, Christina, what have you done? And I was like, I have lost weight. That's what I've done. And this is what I've done to lose this. And I believe in the peptides, not just for weight loss, but there's so many other more benefits to microdosing than just losing weight. But losing weight is significantly helpful with your relationships, and specifically for me was my mental health and my confidence within. My friends, my family, my coworkers, they've noticed a significant difference in my overall physical appearance because I have lost 24 pounds, 24 pounds on the peptides. I'm 5'1", so I'm sitting around 107 pounds as of today. And they've noticed that my attitude is changing and I'm confident, and they recognize and see, and they ask me and inquire about it. And so I share with them about the peptides. And I talk to them more, not only about the weight loss piece of it, but what peptides can do for your overall and the longevity of your health as well. The biggest internal shift for me, I believe, is my mental health. I was really not in a good place. In trying to lose the weight and how I felt. I had a lot of symptoms that the doctors could not connect to anything. They would just say, Christina, you're stressed. You're stressed. That's why you got all this pain. This is why you just need to exercise more. And I'm like, I'm an exercise physiologist. I know what I have to do. I know that I need to be in the gym 3, 4, 5 days a week, lifting, running, whatever it is that I used to do. But I know I used to never have sugar cravings. So some of the internal things that have happened is my mental health is just profound. I am so much more positive. I love myself, and that's cool. And it's okay to say, I do love who I am now. I'm able to get in all my clothes. I have very little pain in my body. I'm sleeping soundly at night. I don't have the sugar cravings, nothing like I used to. And I'm able to not have brain fog. I'm talking about serious brain fog when I go to work. I'm like, where's my keys? Where's my glasses? I mean, this was just, it used to be just small, but it was getting to the point where it was 4 or 5 times a day. I couldn't keep up with stuff. So there's a lot of significant changes that have helped me internally. And primarily it's my mental health is so much better. If you are like me and you're on the fence about starting this journey, here's what I would say to you, and you can do it just like I did. I did the research. You go out and you can Google Dr. Tina Moore, and her videos are for free before you even think about it. I would go and research all the benefits of doing the microdosing 3 times a week. There are going to be other companies out there. Most of the time, they're 1 time a week. But here's what I say. Guess what? You can try it. And here's a good thing about this program. You can do it month to month. Some other programs are like you have to buy 3 months out. So what I would say is try it. Give yourself 3 months. And if you can always quit. you don't have to, you do not have to continue on if it doesn't work for you. But I was so skeptical. I'm talking about, I'm one of the biggest critics behind something like this. And I was like, this is whatever, I'm going to have side effects. I had zero because of the small microdosing 3 times a week. And when in doubt, hey, they tell you whatever the units are and you want to back up a little bit. That's exactly what I did. I was like, I'm going to back up, but I'm going to say, just try it. I mean, because I think that you're going to find that joining Lean Fast is going to empower you in so many other ways that you're not even going to see it. First, it's going to be the weight loss, and then you're going to see other things that are going to happen internally for you. And I want to encourage you to do that, because I was one of the biggest skeptics. I can assure you of that. It's specifically coming from the health and wellness arena as an exercise physiologist. So I just say, hey, just if you just do it. Like the Nike motto, you just need to do it. You just need to click that button. And that's what I did. And it has benefited me beyond what I expected.